What's on, guys? This is Mr. DeLorean here with a brand new video, and today what we're looking at is the It Chapter 2 trailer. Now, as you guys know, this trailer just dropped this Thursday and everything at 12 p.m. and I know I'm very late on, like jumping on the bandwagon of basically breaking down the trailer and everything and reacting to it. But yeah, basically that's what I'm gonna do is I'm going to watch the trailer and kind of give my thoughts on it. So let's hop right into it. I actually have the It movie right here. Actually, might watch it tonight. Not 100% sure, but let's hop right into the trailer. Besides that, so in the first couple of shots of the trailer, we basically have Beverly Marsh as her older self 27 years later from the events of the first movie, and basically what she's doing is revisiting her first house, which this scene is basically going to be a recreation or kind of a similar scene or structure to the scene in the original like It movie and everything. It's good because in the original It movie they basically have a scene where Beverly Marsh goes back and visits her house and basically It attacks her there in the form of an old lady. So in this movie it's gonna happen the same. It's gonna happen similar, but after a couple of minutes of very creepy odd things, especially the old lady staring at her. I thought that was really funny but yet still kind of unsettling. The old lady basically attacks her and everything, but there's some really funny shots of her basically just kind of like running around the house behind her, which is really weird. Then we get some kind of like interesting shots of the Losers Club as kind of like their older selves, like all of them in a row and everything. Now here's the thing about this like shot right here is I absolutely love the casting for this movie. There are others, like some other cast like members that were recommended through like fan art and everything, or some like predictions that I would have liked, but I do like the cast now and everything, and I think this looks like a really cool shot actually. Then we get some kind of shots of some like like kind of, I guess you could say, flashbacks and everything, because there are going to be like flashbacks in this movie from like the past and everything, which is going to be like really cool and interesting. Then we get some shots of them inside this kind of like warehouse, which I think is going to be kind of the library scene, or library like kind of like headquarters or whatever, that Mike, because he works at I think a library, and that's basically going to be their headquarters for like the entire movie, where they go and they talk about their stuff and everything, and eventually they find like I think Richie's head or whatever. Actually, correction, this is me while editing the video and while doing some further observing of this scene right here. It's actually going to be a different scene than the library scene. This is going to be a scene in the movie from the original where basically they're inside this kind of Chinese restaurant and something really weird happens. You'll have to see or like watch the original for yourself, but something really weird happens at the dinner table where basically like stuff starts going wrong and they start like seeing visions and stuff. But basically I think Richie or someone says some very interesting dialogue and everything. And what's funny is this actor's in so many comedies that when I hear him in this, he just sounds so weird to be in a serious horror movie and everything. It's actually funny. He basically goes like, oh, so the Losers Club's back together, and it's really funny. So they all kind of like clang beards and everything because they're all back together, and it's really like a cool reunion scene, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a really cool scene in the movie. Then we basically get some shots of Georgie, like obviously not like the actual Georgie and everything, but Georgie kind of like pushing like or like holding up a boat and everything from the sewers. And then we got a shot of I think Ben. I think, isn't that his name? I don't know, I haven't watched like the movies in like a freaking really long time, but I think his name's Ben and everything. Looks at the sewers and everything, because obviously he knows it's messing with him and everything, and he's probably really pissed. Then we get some shots of, yet again, I think Ben and Beverly talking and everything, and it actually is some very interesting dialogue, him saying we like can do this, we need to do this, we need to do this together. Then we get some very interesting shots, which basically, in my opinion, when I first saw the trailer, is that this is definitely what I think it is. This is where basically the final fight scene in the movie is going to take place. Like, it has to honestly be like, this has to be where the final fight scene is going to take place against like the big spider and everything. And if you haven't seen the original, I think I really do suggest like buying it or like looking it up, or like I don't know, pirating or something. I probably shouldn't. But in the original, in the end, there's like this like huge fight between like a spider and everything, which I think is gonna happen in this movie. And we get some more interesting shots like further into the trailer. Then we get some shots of, yet again, I can never remember what the names are, but I think Richie looking up and basically seeing It flying on balloons and everything above the lumberjack. Now, I'm not sure if the lumberjack's gonna play a part in this film, because obviously in the book and everything, the lumberjack actually plays a pretty big part. Then we get some shots of balloons floating, and I think that's say, I think it's a sewer. At first I thought it was a theater, oddly enough, and everything, but yeah, I think it's a sewer. Then we get our first kind of, I guess you could say, look at it in this film. Basically, he hops up and everything. You see him in his full-fledged form. And this was probably the weirdest part of the trailer that actually genuinely confused me, is the part where I guess maybe it's it or something, kind of like wiping off his makeup. And I was actually really confused about that scene, because I was like, is this just a normal person with the it makeup, or is this actually it? But besides all of that kind of confusion, it's actually a pretty cool shot. Then we get some shots of basically the Losers Club and all of them and everything walking through the sewers and basically coming across this big kind of thing. I don't know what it is. It kind of looks a bit like a I don't know, it's debris, but it actually kind of looks a bit like, yet again, where the final fight scene is going to take place. And that's if they follow the original like ending, or the original like, you know, movie. Then we get some shots of an amusement park, which kind of plays into like a shot at the end of the trailer. Then we get some more like kind of flashback shots of like Ben and like, you know, Beverly and everything, and them in the future and everything, which is cool to see that they're going to connect, because obviously in the original they end up like, you know, connecting and I think marrying or whatever. Then we get some more like very quick and flashy shots of basically all of them in the sewer. Basically, like it has to be confirmed that it's the ending fight from the original movie, where they're facing off that gigantic crab spider thing. Then we actually get an interesting shot of, yet again, I can't remember, I'll just stop like saying it, but you know, Ben running through the amusement park, which I'm kind of wondering what this scene's gonna be. I don't think I remember the scene in the original, so I'm kind of gonna be interested to see like, you know, what's not in the original kind of new played out, but it's very interesting. Then we get a very weird shot of like something emerging from a bath of blood, which it's a bit weird, but I'm not sure. Then we get another shot, which I know there's a lot of flashing shots of them in the sewers all together and everything, but I want to pause at this one specifically because they're all looking up, which they might all be looking up at the light. Which, if you don't know what the light is, it's kind of the light inside the I'm trying to think, inside the like spider or whatever, that basically like kind of like sends you into like a trance or whatever, which I'm pretty sure they're all looking up at it, which isn't really a good thing. And now we get the final shot of the trailer, which is basically this girl going through like the amusement park and everything, which yet again I said it would play another like part in this trailer, which is, you know, this shot. We basically get it clapping its hands together, which is pretty cool and everything, and then we get the girl stopping and like just staring like, what the fuck is that? Then we get it basically emerging from, you know, the shadows, which is really cool and everything. I liked seeing him. He looks the exact same as the other movie and everything, but he actually looks really cool. He basically goes hello to like the person. I'm not even gonna bother to try to do the voice, but it's very cool. So all around, I think this trailer was a very cool trailer. I basically spent all day in school sitting on school computers and I think basically like looking at the countdown for this trailer and everything, and I watched it and I really enjoyed it. It was a very cool, definitely a very cool trailer. Showed off like the amazing cast and everything, and basically them in their full-fledged form, and giving some like dialogue inside the thing, which I thought was really cool. Also seeing it again and some of the new things that are gonna be happening in the film was very cool. But yeah, that is all I really have to say for this trailer and everything. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, make sure to video big fat thumbs up. Make sure to leave your opinions down below, what you guys thought of the trailer if you guys did see it. And yeah, see you guys all later. Peace amigos, and peace out.